On today's show, Charles Rucker is here to talk about how he turned tragedy into victory. Jenn Otto will share what the Junior League of Murfreesboro is doing to support our community. And get ready to meet our Pet of the Week from Purple Paws, the cutest little bugger you've ever seen. So grab some shades. We're here to talk about what makes our town shine. Good morning, Murfreesboro, for Friday, March 28th, 2025. Starts now.
Good morning, Murfreesboro. I'm Lance Chandler.
And I'm Rachel Albertson. Thank you for joining us for another week where we talk about what makes Murfreesboro shine.
Yeah, and it's been a shiny week. We had a fun episode last week.
We did.
Hopefully have shiny weddings that are getting booked out there.
Yes, yeah. That was really cool learning, more about the whole wedding thing.
Yeah.
I got married a million years ago, so I remember none of that. It wasn't fancy back then.
It's a lot fancier now, we've learned.
Yes, yeah. 1997, I think. And it was very different back then.
Well, spring is officially here.
Yes.
And it feels like it for once.
The allergies, it's definitely here.
Yeah, I know the Bradford pears. We keep talking about those. That's a state tree. Did you know that?
Is it?
That's the
I
state
did not
tree.
know that.
Yeah.
That's wrong. Wrong. So
That's
wrong.
right,
Can we
though.
change that? So spring break is next week.
Mm-hmm.
I know your wife works for the school, so you get to have some downtime.
Yes.
Or are you
fine.
just going to work the whole time?
I'll probably be working. Yeah, running a business, you get downtime, but you don't always get the break that you need because people
Downtime,
need
5 minutes before you go to sleep. That's it.
Yep, that's it.
Well, we have some really exciting news. Marilyn, meow, got adopted.
I like the sound effect. That is really exciting.
I
And,
know.
thanks to you guys out there, we were able to help with that. So we really do appreciate it.
Yeah, we love it when the animals get adopted.
Yeah, we really do. We really do. It was a lot of fun. Well, guess what, Rachel? I've got another week unscathed in the traffic of
Wow.
Murfreesboro.
I almost had an event on the way here.
Oh, see, guys,
Yeah.
it's working for me.
Yeah, this little Fiat was up my keister, and I turned on my blinker to turn right. I wasn't sure if they were going to hit me or stop, but they stopped.
It's always the Fiat, right?
It's usually a Honda.
Or an Altima.
But I made
those
it.
memes. You did make it.
I did make it.
Yeah.
I haven't seen those memes. Maybe you should send them to me.
All right, I will.
So, joke time?
I do have a joke.
All right.
I do have a joke. It actually goes along with Marilyn Meow. It does. It does. What do cats like to eat for breakfast?
I was going to say meow mix, but that's cat food.
That is cat. That's not the joke answer, though.
Okay, what's the answer?
It's Mice Krispies.
Very nice. Very nice. Oh my goodness. Okay.
Well, we have some events to talk about coming up on the calendar on national days.
Yes.
Today is National Something on a Stick Day because everything is a little bit better on a stick. I don't know if you ever gone to like an Asian buffet, but they had that little chicken on the teriyaki chicken on the stick. The best thing there, always.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong in the comments. That's not the best thing at the buffet.
Where I lived before, we had a restaurant called Hot Dog on a Stick or something like that, and like literally, you got a hot dog on a
That's
stick.
basically a naked corn dog.
They probably had corn dogs too. Today is also Vietnam Veterans Day. Thank you for your service.
Yeah, thank you so much. A lot of vets out here. I get the opportunity to serve on the VFW Auxiliary, so we're grateful for your service. Tomorrow is Mom and Pop's Business Owner Day, so there are small businesses. That's reaching out to them,
Yeah.
So a lot of times those mom and pops are a lot of the older businesses in our community, so support them.
Yep. And on the 30th, it's National Pencil Day. I've got a fun fact. Shelbyville was once the pencil capital of the world.
That's pretty cool. My wife would love that. She loves good pencils. She's one of those people that is very particular, pens, pencils, all that stuff. Education.
Right?
The 31st is National Crayon Day.
Do you have a favorite color?
Red is my favorite color.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. What about yours?
Well, I like to consider glitter a color.
Oh, okay.
After that, it's pink. And we're coming up on a great holiday, April Fool's Day.
It is a great holiday. Are you a prankster?
I have been in the past. I have cellophaned the toilet in the middle of the night.
I don't think that's a good prank,
Well, if you're on the receiving end, it's terrible. Salt and sugar switch, yeah.
Oh, that's a fun one. That's a fun one. I wouldn't want to cellophane the toilet. It's extreme, Rachel. All right. Then we have April, which is World Autism Month.
Yes, yes. And also, it is National Volunteer Month, which also goes along with Tennessee.
The volunteer state.
We are, for sure.
Well, did you know on this day in 1972, Elvis Presley recorded his final top 10 hit, a cover of Burning Love, a song written by Dennis Lindy, and first recorded by Arthur Alexander.
1972 was a great year.
Yeah, I'm a huge Elvis fan, so and like I collect the 1968 comeback special stuff. I got a ton of stuff on that, so I like that fact.
When we travel, we see a lot of Elvis impersonators. It's so fun to see a bunch of different people singing Elvis. Well, let's get right into those celebrity birthdays. Today, Reba McEntire is 70 years old.
Single mom that works too hard. Then we have Lady Gaga, who is 40, which this is up for discussion, guys. I want to see this in the comments. I've seen a lot of like back and forth about Lady Gaga being the song for March Madness. Everybody's like, is this really March Madness with her new song, Abracadabra? So
that smells like sports to me. I have no idea what you're talking
I didn't
about.
know what song was even on March Madness. What's that?
That's basketball. I know that much. Today, Vince Vaughn is 55. He's an actor.
Yep, and then we have on the 30th, Eric Clapton, which is an amazing guitarist.
Wow.
80 years old.
Wow. And Celine Dion turns 57.
Her heart will always go on. And then on the 31st, we have Ewan McGregor. Did I say that right?
Yeah, okay. You nailed it.
54 years old.
And on the 3rd, Eddie Murphy turns 64.
Wow. That's amazing too. That blows my mind. It doesn't seem realistic that he should be 64 years old.
I know.
So much younger.
I know.
Well, we have to thank our sponsors. We have Superior Overhead Doors,
Titan Media Works,
Info with Social Media,
615 Insurance,
Achieve Entrepreneur Center,
and Hemispheres Wine Bar.
Yep.
So, you know what I say every week, if you can't find something to do in Murfreesboro, you're not looking hard enough, and definitely not watching our show.
Well, today, grab your binoculars and head to the Murphy Spring Wetland Playground for March Migration Madness, a fun and educational birdwatching program. This is a free event for all ages. Learn about the incredible migratory journey birds take, the challenges they face, and how you can help support them. Starts at 10 a.m. Still have time to head out to the wilderness station.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's also time to get out of the water.
Get on the water.
Get out on the water. We want to stay safe and smart on the water, so don't miss the official Tennessee boating safety class and exam, which is funny. You register online, but it said bring a pencil. Like seriously, bring your own pencil. But that takes place tomorrow at Franklin Baptist Church from 9 to 1. It is required for all Tennessee residents born after January 1st, 1989 who want to operate a boat. A motorized vessel of some sort.
I wonder what happens if you don't bring a pencil.
Then you don't get to take the test.
If you go and you don't bring a pencil, tell us. We want to know. Also tomorrow, NewPath Church invites you to a free family Easter celebration at the Kids Castle in Old Fort Parkway. On Old Fort Parkway. There we go. From 10 a.m. to 12 p.m., enjoy candy, carnival games, popcorn, prizes, and meet the Easter Bunny.
Easter Bunny!
I know, Easter Bunny is a cool guy. Bring your friends, bring the whole family, and come join the fun.
On Monday, you can check out Nature Play Glow Up at the Wilderness Station at Barfield Crescent Park. They've been really busy adding fun pretend Wilderness Station with the animal ambassador cutouts and a brand new outdoor classroom. They do projects like Play Glow, and they vary every month. They also are asking for volunteers. We'll have a link below for you to register or find out more about being a volunteer.
And if your dream is to be a lifeguard or you have interest in being a lifeguard, on Wednesday, MTSU is conducting a lifeguard swim test prep class. This is a 2-session prep class on April 2nd and 9th from 7:30 to 8:15 p.m. at MTSU Campus Rec. The course will help to get you confident in the water and prepared to pass the comprehensive lifeguard test. If you want to find out more things for this, you can check our links below. We'll have all of that on what we discussed.
Yeah, yes, we do.
All right, well, right after this message, we will be right back and get ready to be pumped up because we have our first guest, Charles Rucker. We are back with our first guest, Charles Rucker of Ruck Nutrition. Welcome, Charles. We're so happy you're here, man.
What's up, man? I'm glad to be here. I'm glad you guys asked me to come.
Hey, we are too.
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Welcome. It's nice meeting you, Rachel.
It's great to meet you too.
Absolutely.
Well, Charles, you're kind of big in the community with nutrition and working out. Everybody kind of knows you for what you do. So, but a lot of people don't know your story, man. So I want to talk to you a little bit about your story. Let's talk about that.
So to be honest with you, man, I'm just a kid from a small town, East Tennessee, Morristown, right outside Knoxville.
Yeah.
And I basically just took my pain and turned it into passion. That's really the big thing about me growing up. Life hit early. I came from a sports-driven family. Football is in my DNA from the beginning.
Yeah.
And so, you know, like I said, life hit. I was raised by a single mother on disability. And from there, you know, getting to college. And when I got to college, I played football and got into the car wreck and hit a tractor trailer head on and was in a hospital for over a year. I had to learn how to talk, eat, all of that again.
Wow.
And so I had like every reason to give up. But it's one of those things like, what's the fun in that? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you got to keep going. And so from there, the car wreck kind of made me transition from football into bodybuilding. And then bodybuilding into business. So that's a little bit of a rundown of how I am where I am today.
And that's an amazing story because a lot of people, you know, that's a life-changing event, right?
Sure.
For sure, yeah.
And for some people, that could change your life in a negative way, but for you, it changed it in a positive way, you know?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I tell people, like, you know, me getting into the car wreck, honestly, was probably the best thing that happened for me. Because it was at a place where it made me really stand still and really just think where I need to go next. And it changed my direction. And I am a firm believer that your journey is created before you're born.
Yeah.
And so now I'm fully know I'm in my purpose. I love it and I'm happy. And so I'm glad that, you know, everything turned out the way it was, even though it wasn't what I was expecting, but it turned out for the best.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Well, we're grateful that you're still here with us
Yes.
through all
Appreciate
that,
that.
and that you triumphed over that. That's for sure.
Yeah, I'm glad to be here.
So besides exercise, you do a lot with nutrition. So
Mm-hmm.
why don't you talk to us a little bit about what inspired you to start Ruck Nutrition?
So it's so crazy because like when I started Ruck Nutrition, that was out of pure frustration. My workouts and stuff that I did at the time were more athletic. And I couldn't find like a pre-workout that really was matching the type of workouts that I was doing. And plus I had gut issues. So a lot of pre-workouts were upsetting my stomach and they were either too strong to where I was jittery when I worked out. And so it really just started out with me trying to find a pre-workout that I could really take. And then, you know, from there, it grew to a full line. And then, you know, we done some stores and stuff like that. And it's, you know, took off. But it literally started out of pure frustration of me trying to find a pre-workout for myself.
Yeah.
But, you know, the cool thing about starting the supplement company is I've got to travel all over the country. I've met, you know, amazing people. I've had great relationships with a lot of people. And, you know, it's a lot of customers that have followed us from the beginning. And I get to see and talk to them and hear their story. So, I mean, I love that, you know, we started the company and everything, but honestly, it never was meant in my mind for it to blow up the kind of way it did. But
yeah. Well, I mean, I know you're a go-getter. You always set big, lofty goals, which is a great thing, man. So you've been doing the Arnold Classic for a while now, man. So I want to talk about that and then kind of what that's looked like for you too, man, because I feel like it's been a journey.
I need to know what that is real quick.
Oh yeah, explain to everybody what that is, Charles.
So the Arnold is the biggest international bodybuilding show in the world.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, I figured that question would probably come.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit how that journey has gone for you, man.
Man, one thing about the Arnold, and what's so crazy is the Arnold was actually, when I first switched over from football to bodybuilding, you know, honestly, I wasn't really sure bodybuilding was the thing that I wanted to do. I had a friend, Brandon Curry, he was deep in the industry at that point, and you know, he kind of took me under his wing. And so the Arnold was the first show that I actually really went to. And honestly, when I went, that's when I fell in love with it. Because, like, you go to the Arnold, you have people from all over the world. And the thing about the Arnold that people don't understand is it's not just bodybuilding. It's like 150 sports.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's like the closest thing like you would go to like the Olympics or something. And so you go there and you see all these people that, you know, love fitness and it's just like the atmosphere is just insane. And so I actually fell in love with it. And then my first time as an athlete, because I was a sponsored model athlete for years. And my first time as an athlete at like a booth or anything, I actually shared the booth with Ronnie Coleman. And so the Arnold just been like a big like point in my career. And so when I started competing at the Arnold, I remember it was just one of those like, oh man moments. And so I remember the first time I was backstage, because they used to have it in the expo, and, where we would compete would be in the expo. And I remember like backstage, and you could just hear like the crowd. And I remember looking around the corner, which was probably the worst thing I could have did. And you just see a sea of people. And it was just a moment that, you know, for me, I can't really explain, but one thing that I missed about football was that moment before you run out on the field and you can hear the crowd and you can feel the energy.
Yeah.
And so I felt that
Yeah.
again. And so, but yeah, it was just, you know, the Arnold's been amazing. I've competed in the Arnold the last 5 years.
Wow.
I've got second 3 years in a row.
Yeah. It's coming, man.
This
It's coming.
year,
Well, and that's the thing, like I'm at a place now where I'm in a different place in my career, and you know, I really am leaning in on my purpose of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And so I'm not for sure that I'm gonna compete again.
oh wow.
But I know, right?
I know. Charles
but-
dropping bombs on us,
I
man.
know. And I'm not saying this is something that a lot of people don't even know. But you know, it's one of those things like I don't know that I'll compete again. Like I'm really enjoying where my life is right now and what I'm doing, and I'm
That's
just
great.
gonna kind of just lean into that right now.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
Well, if there's something you could tell somebody feeling doubtful or facing that struggle, like what would you tell them?
I would definitely tell them to lean into it. You know, feel that emotion, because that part right there, what people don't understand is, you know, doubt and feeling defeated. That is part of the story.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through that.
It's part of your fuel.
It's part of your fuel. And the thing about it is doubt and feeling defeated, it doesn't write the ending of your story.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
And the best thing I can tell you is to keep moving. The hardest thing to kill is a moving target.
That's
And
true.
so take every step, even if it's a small step, if it's working out or journaling or whatever you need to do, or if it's just showing up that next day, like lean into that and lean into those emotions and those feelings. And you gotta also believe that, you know, the person that you're trying to be is on the other side of all of that, and know that that person's a beast and a monster, and just completely take it a step day by day.
Well, man, that's great advice. That's something great to end on. We thank you so much for being here. We really do appreciate it. We
I
love
appreciate
everything
you
you're
guys
doing.
having
Go
me.
check out
Yeah.
Charles' thing. Oh, real quick before you go, you have a new venture we just want to talk about real fast.
I do. I am doing online coaching now. It's
Yeah.
called Active Shift. I love it. You know, the cool thing with it is it's not just your regular personal training, coaching. We do meal plans and workouts and stuff like that. But we actually work on your hormones and like gut issues.
Sweet.
And so, I work with, some medical clinics in Nashville, and we actually can help like fix your hormones and your gut issues to help you lose weight and get you where you need to be. And so, that's the part that I'm absolutely loving, is being able to help people, especially with issues that they've had maybe their whole life, especially hormones and stuff like that. So, yeah, Active Shift, and that's where we're at.
Well,
Awesome.
guys, you heard it there. Find the links for Charles below. Get in contact with him, and he'll help you out.
All right, next up, Purple Paw's Pet of the Week. This week's Pet of the Week comes to us from Proverbs 12:10 Animal Rescue. Meet Ladybug. She's the tiniest of her siblings, but packed with the biggest personality. This playful pup is full of energy and fun. She is always ready for an adventure before snuggling up for a cozy lap nap. She's doing great with potty training, sleeps through the night, and loves to eat. I know some people like that. Ladybug can get chilly, but she's a champion cuddler and warms up quickly. She's fantastic with other dogs and would make a sweet, spunky, and affectionate addition to any loving home.
If you're interested in adopting a ladybug, reach out to Proverbs 12:10 Animal Rescue. The info will be below in today's post that we have here. In descriptions.
Yes. Well, we are excited. We have our second guest today, Jenn Otto, and she's going to talk to us a little bit about the Junior League.
Yeah, thank you for being here, Jen.
Yeah, you're welcome. Good morning.
You're a board member on the Murfreesboro Junior League, and you've been involved in a lot of projects, but one of them is the Horizon Scholarship. And so a lot of people don't know what the Junior League is, and definitely not the scholarship program. So can you tell us about it?
I would love to, yes. So the Junior League of Murfreesboro is a women's empowerment organization where we equip women to do a world of good. I love that, right?
Yes.
And one of the things that we do is the Horizon Scholarship. And the Horizon Scholarship is for when we take on these women who are going to college, it's not a one-time scholarship.
Okay.
Like a lot of scholarships are, right? It's we actually kind of adopt these women for the full 4 years of their college career. So, you know, when we take on these young women who are wanting to go out and do a world of good, you know, it's a commitment for us. And so that's really where we lean into the community with our fundraisers and things. And so, you know, we really love being able to be a part of these young women's journey into going out into the world and launching themselves into their, you know, what they're wanting to do with their life.
Oh, that's really, really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are some of the qualifications, or what are their requirements after they graduate? Is there anything like that goes along with it?
So they don't have to like do community service or anything like that, but usually the women who apply for these scholarships are women who have been active in their, you know, beta club, student council. They are very fiscally or community involved, you know, that kind of thing. They do have to keep up a grade point average. So, you know, if every year they have to turn in their grades, so, you know, they can't be out partying, you know, or anything like that. But we do want them to, you know, feel supported so that they can chase some of those dreams. Some of the stories that we've heard is, you know, one woman was able to do a semester abroad because of the assistance from the program, that she didn't have to work so many hours, that she was able to actually save up and go abroad. So, you know, chasing their dreams and doing a world of good. So
That's great.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
That's really awesome. So you do specialize in some other things as well.
I
With divorces and helping maybe people that or women that are looking to go through a divorce, or
Well, anybody who's going
anybody.
through a divorce,
Yeah.
yeah. So as a divorce designation specialist, in my day job, I'm a mortgage lender. And so, you know, a lot of times people who are facing divorce don't really understand what the ramifications are from a financial standpoint. You know, they're so focused on the legal aspect, and this person did this to me or that person did that to me. And I went through a really nasty divorce when I was really young, and even though I had been in the industry, there wasn't that person who was kind of that guiding financial voice for me. And, you know, attorneys are very focused on the legal aspect of things. And, you know, at 20-something, I didn't have a financial advisor. And so, you know, by doing this divorce specialization on the mortgage side, I'm really able to help provide them with some guidance as they're moving through that divorce. I'm going to throw a statistic at you.
Okay.
So 87% of divorces involve some sort of real estate. So think about families and couples. They typically own at least a marital residence, and then they don't know who's going to get the house.
Yeah.
How do we split that up? How do we have an equitable arrangement so that we can move forward? And so here's the other thing is I really want people to move forward with financial dignity. And that looks different for every divorcing couple.
Yeah, that's really cool. That's something a lot of people don't think about that.
They don't.
Until the back end, right? Like you're in the thick of it.
Yeah.
And sometimes it can be really ugly. Sometimes it's really smooth. Sometimes, you know, you can just be in the middle of it, and it's almost. My mom used to use this phrase: you're in your own F4, right? Like you're in your own tornado, and you can't see what's happening around you. So having somebody to step into that and be like, "This is your shelter. Come in. Like I'm going to help you be guided through this, and it's not as bad as it seems. We'll make it through." And then you're just helping everybody out. So that's something that I think is amazing, because there's so many people affected in that.
Well, it is. And, you know, the other thing is that I help to give the attorneys the proper ammunition, right? So if you have somebody who's extremely emotionally attached to their home, They want to stay here. Their kids live here. Their kids are going to go to school, but they just can't afford to live in the home. That's instead of that attorney going to battle and spending that, fighting capital, fighting for something that really is not in that particular party's best interest, it helps us to kind of move past that and be like, what is going to help them move forward with that financial dignity? And it just looks different for everyone.
And sometimes that can be really hard because, sometimes you've raised your kids in that home and there's a lot of sentimental value in that home and you want to keep it. And that sentimental value puts a big price tag on things a lot of times.
It does.
And makes you fight really hard.
It does. And I want them to fight for something that's going to benefit their life moving forward. For me, I always tell people the most critical time for a divorcing individual is day 1 to month 12. And if I can help them really have a good strategy financially, like how do I put food on my table? How do I pay my light bill? And making sure that the financial plan makes sense for that is really important for me.
That's really
So
cool.
you do a lot with the community, obviously helping people that get divorced in Junior League, but you were also a graduate of Leadership Rutherford, and we've had a couple of people on the show.
Corinne, I saw Corinne.
And it's a great part of the community. And so, any words of wisdom, quick blurbs about what it is?
Yeah, so I'd love to also mention that the applications for next year's class should be coming out very soon. So you've heard, you'll hear me talk about it. You've heard Corinne talking about it. So if it is something you're wanting to get involved with, keep your eyes posted. The Chamber of Commerce is where you're going to see those applications. But it has been a fantastic program for me personally. I've lived in Rutherford County for about 20 years, and it's been it was eye-opening to me to see what all was here. And so Leadership Rutherford is basically a 12-month program. Think of it like adult field trips.
Okay.
I mean, really, it's like adult field trips. So we all meet at the Chamber of Commerce one Wednesday every month, and they put us on a bus, and we go and we see this thing, and we go and see that thing, and they feed us lunch, and then we come back. So it is a little bit of a commitment, but we have seen from workforce development to how the government runs to how important infrastructure like lights and utilities and water, all of that. And then we see nonprofits. That's how I got involved in the Junior League. And so it's just really helped me to become more connected to the community that I have been a part of. And the other thing that I love about it is it's 40 leaders in Rutherford County. And these are people that are not typically going to be at like a networking event. I do a lot of networking. And so, it's like I had the COO for St. Thomas Rutherford Hospital in my class. There was an ADA for Rutherford County in my class. These are people that are not going to hang out at your local networking events, right? Yeah. Nothing wrong with those. But it was just really cool to meet people at different walks of life. And then you become a part of this bigger alumni community. We just celebrated the 40th year. Wow. We had a big 40-year bash about a month ago. And, getting to see people of the community that have been, class of 2020, class of 2015, and all are still very involved in Rutherford County.
Yeah, that's really amazing. Well, we thank you so much for being here today, Jenn.
Thank you for the opportunity. This is so fun. I love this whole thing.
Well, you are well-rounded in things you do in the community, and I know not only myself, but other people really appreciate the time that you dedicate to helping other people. And
thank you.
Thanks for being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Well, stop. Don't scroll just yet. We got more coming up right after this. All right, well, that's it for this week, guys, and it was a fun show today.
We had a good time.
We had a lot of fun guests.
Yeah, we learned, I learned about an Arnold
Classic?
Yes,
yeah, there you go.
That, and we got
stick.
Well, I got to watch it again and again, right? That's what we want people to do. And we had Jenn talking to us about Leadership Rutherford and Junior League, and of course what she does in her day job.
Yeah, well, next week we got more fun events.
We do.
That we have coming up. We got some amazing guests again.
Always.
And we have to do one quick thing. We have to thank our sponsors again. We have Superior Overhead Doors,
Titan Media Works,
Info Social Media,
615 Insurance,
Achieve Entrepreneur Center.
and of course, Hemispheres Wine Bar. If you haven't been here,
It's amazing.
They have non-alcoholic options, so don't feel like you are going to be having to tip an elbow drinking wine if you're here.
Well, make sure you go back and watch. Make sure you go back and watch replays, guys, from our previous shows. We've had amazing guests on here, and we've had amazing shows. So, a lot of people watch for the events, but if you want to learn about Murfreesboro, the guests are where it's at. So go back and watch those interviews because you can learn a lot about the history, what we have going on, who's running things around here.
That's right. The weird things I put in chili, you got to go back and watch
there's
those.
some weird things that go in chili, guys.
And when you do, make sure you like and comment and share. And if you're watching it on YouTube, you can subscribe and leave some positive feedback there too.
Yep, and we have to thank our staff. They're amazing. They really do put up with us here.
And it's been a day of putting up with us.
And from all of us here at Good Morning Murfreesboro and Hemispheres Wine Bar, have a great weekend.
If you're going to do it this weekend, do it right here in Murfreesboro.